Join us on a boat ride to a remote spot on a very dangerous lake that claims many human lives every single year. In our opinion though, breathtaking views of crystal clear glacier water and gorgeous mountains are totally worth the risk. Watch us get the boat ready, then riding it for about 20 minutes each way to a very remote bear, moose and red salmon infested area that blew our minds with overwhelming beauty and peace. Let's start from the beginning. Ready to launch the boat. Tustumena Lake is a lake on the west side of the Kenai Peninsula in south-central Alaska. Access is only via the Kasilof River, as there are no roads that lead directly to the lake. You can see the Kasilof River here on the left. At 73,000 acres, Tustumena Lake is Alaska's 8th largest lake and the largest lake on the Kenai Peninsula. With a maximum depth of 950 feet, Tustumena Lake is exceptionally deep. It is deeper than Cook Inlet. That's mind-blowing. The lake is 25 miles long and up to 6 miles wide. On that particular day, I watched the weather very closely because Tustumena Lake has a reputation for being very dangerous to small boats due to the high winds that regularly blow off Tustumena Glacier that you can see here on the right. You can get to Tustumena Glacier by riding to the very end of the lake, but that's where most deadly accidents happen. And accidents happen because people are not cautious enough. You should always check the weather before you leave for a boat ride, especially when you're on a lake surrounded by high mountains and a glacier at the end. I had people say that sometimes the waves on Tustumena Lake can be up to 14 feet and they come about just suddenly without a warning, and that's when accidents really happen. That's why, since we have a small boat, we chose a very sunny, warm and almost windless day to take us to a special spot on the lake that my husband heard about. One of our neighbors mentioned that the spot that we're heading to, that you can see on the map with a pin, was moose and bear infested, that we shouldn't go without guns, just for protection obviously. But the most important thing was that the fish were jumping out of the water, and it really turned out to be true, and it was quite a spectacle, guys. I'm gonna show you now. Fish are jumping out of the water by themselves. Red salmon.
And it's all for us. Guess what?
That red sockeye salmon that you see in the picture here is actually not good for eating anymore. They come up the river from the ocean to spawn. Once they do it, they are ready to die, unfortunately. So the meat of such a fish is not a good idea because it doesn't look and taste well, I have to tell you that. Some other local person told us to take a radio with us and have it blasted all the time, which might possibly scare the bears away so we don't have to use guns once they want to charge us. So we were pretty well prepared to get our feet on this land. Guys, we're in the middle of nowhere. The dark spots on the water that you see, this is salmon that came here to the river to die. This is our boat. And here is where all the bears live. That's why we have to have guns with us. The area was truly magical, and one of the reasons why is the fact that there were no people around us. You could only hear birds and fish and some other wildlife. So overall, we didn't spend a lot of time on the bank. We definitely didn't venture into the forest or in the bushes. And although that was one of the best and most amazing trips I have ever taken on a boat, I was scared a little bit watching over the skies every minute, looking for any signs of the weather changing. And although we are pretty close to the Kasilof River entrance to the lake, I just wanted to make sure that if, in case the weather changes, we have enough time to get back to our launching area. Everything ended well, we got back, and on the way back we admired the beautiful colors. Just look at those colors of the water, colors of the greenery of the trees. It's just mind-blowing, and the water that day was as calm as it can be. We survived and we didn't have any bear encounters. Getting the boat back on the car. Today I have my long boots, so it's gonna be okay. Let's see how the captain does this time. That's where the lake is, and that's where the river is. That's our captain.
Please don't help.
Perfect captain, perfect boat, perfect parking. A little bit scary, but a lot of fun. One very memorable day for many years to talk about, for sure.